everyone. This is the Britball Day quiz. We may not have a season, but we can still celebrate the great game over on these shores. First, I want to say thank you to Freddy and Jason for having me on and kind of compiling all these things that you've seen on Britball Day. Hope you're enjoying all of them. Make sure you give them a round of applause. Well, why not? Give them a round of applause. But yeah, thanks to Freddy and Jason for doing all that they're doing as part of Britball Day as well. But this is obviously a quiz. This is my contribution. Don't forget also to check out our interview with George Reynolds. So that's also on our YouTube channel, which you can subscribe to. And little prize to give away on this quiz. So if you just subscribe to the channel and in the comments below, just put in hashtag eyes peeled. We'll pick a winner at random and we'll give you one of these lovely eyes peeled t-shirts. If I can just quickly sport that if I stand up. There you go. Lots of different sizes. So don't worry if you're a small or a 5XL. We've got size to fit all. But yeah, thank you all for joining us. And also before we get into the quiz, in the description and also coming up on your screen now will be a link to how you can go and vote for the X's and O's podcast who've been nominated for part of the British Podcast Awards. Give them a shout out. Obviously, they're doing great work as well, promoting the game in this country. So yeah, shout out to those guys. Yeah, go and vote for them. Go and vote for them. But on today's quiz, so we have loads of different rounds. We've got 8 rounds in total, and covering everything from pictures, geography, words, history, a bit of maths in there as well, some flag, general knowledge, and some logos, and lots of fun. So hopefully you enjoy it. It's taken me a little while to put together, but yeah, hopefully get a bit of enjoyment out of it, and hopefully it helps pass the day on Britball Day. Again, a bit sad that we don't have any football to be celebrating this year, but I'm sure it will come back next year with a vengeance because I know you're all chomping at the bit to do it. But without further ado, let's get into round 1. So the idea of round 1, you will see in front of you 6 logos, 6 NFL team logos, and all you have to do is identify the equivalent Britball team. So, for example, you have the New Orleans Saints there in the example, and all we want you to do is, the last name of that is the Saints, so we want you to name the Britball equivalent of the Saints. So in this case, of course, it would be the Bury Saints. So you have A is the Minnesota Vikings, B, the Pittsburgh Steelers, C, the Philadelphia Eagles, D, Atlanta Falcons, E, the Las Vegas Raiders, and F, the LA Rams. So 1 point per correct answer for these. So literally you just have to name the Britball equivalent. So the something Vikings, the something Steelers, something Eagles, something Falcons, something Raiders, something Rams. So hopefully those won't pose too much of an issue early off. I'll try to go easy on you in round 1. So we'll just let you have a couple of seconds to do those. Hopefully you've got your pens and papers at the ready as well. Maybe I should have warned you that was coming. So yeah, I'll give you a couple of seconds to go and dash and get a pen and paper if you haven't done so already. But that is round 1, picture round. Name the Britball team that shares the same name. Also, if you want to put some funny team names in the comments there, we'll give out a second t-shirt there for funny quiz team names. Obviously you're going to be on your own. I don't very much doubt that anyone will be doing this together, 2 people in the same room, but who knows. Social distancing obviously relaxed these days. Okay, we're going to do all the answers at the end of the quiz as well, just the way you do things, isn't it? Let's be honest. Okay, we're going to give you a couple more seconds on round 1. Again, hopefully it shouldn't be causing you too many issues at this stage. We'll wait to round 2 till we get quite interesting. Okay, we will move on to round 2. Now, round 2 looks a bit daunting when you first look at it, but what you should see in front of you is a map of the United Kingdom in all its glory, and you will see quite a lot of letters as well. I think it's A through to M, N. I think is maybe O. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Yeah, oh, there you go. Either way, a lot of teams, a lot of dots on the map there for you to get your teeth into. Basically, what we want you to do is we want you to name those teams for each letter. We'll give you a word of warning that Team G, that's up there to the northwest of England, have now folded. So yeah, very well done if you manage to get G, and also. I think all the rest of them are okay from what Freddie and from what Jason told me anyway. So hopefully you'll be able to name all of those. But yeah, all these teams are in the Britball. These are Britball teams. So the adult contacts. These aren't flag. These aren't women's. These are These are the men's adult contact teams. So yeah, essentially we have to do A through to O. You should name who that team is. Some might be difficult, some might be easy. I've made it easy on myself and not tried to pick a team particularly near anyone else, just because I don't want to be controversial and say, for instance, the London Olympians and the London Warriors, or a couple of London teams, or being close together, and kind of catch myself out there. So hopefully these teams should be slightly easy to identify, because these are not necessarily near too many other teams. So hopefully that will help. But yeah, all contact teams, all in Britball, whether or not they're being the associate process, obviously from last year, or whether they're Premiership or Division 2, South, West, East, North. But yeah, loads of teams there to get yourself. Get that brain rattling. Get that brain rattling on a Sunday. That's why we do it. That is why we do it. I think I initially started off with about 10 of these teams, but I thought, no, let's try and fill that map in a bit more and really, really test your knowledge, and say kudos to anyone that manages to get G. Some of them should be fairly easy to get if you know your Britball, if you follow maybe a couple of teams in your local area. I've tried to spread it out across the UK, but yeah, that is round 2. That is your geography round. So if you maybe want to pause it, because I will move on very swiftly indeed, and say we'll do these answers towards the back end of this broadcast. Okay, moving on to round 3, then we have the words round, everyone's favourite round, especially if you're a countdown player. So we have anagrams. We have 5 teams here that have been jumbled up. The names have been jumbled up, and you have to identify which teams they are. So at the top we have a Macho Renters. Number 2 is Ha Natal Sports. 3, Fox is Tan Rods. Number 4 is Kilt Teaser Appy Brides. And number 5, Men Cheats in Tarts. Now I had to get that one cleared by that one cleared by admin, just in case it was a bit too risque. But I'm sure we're all adults here. Yeah, I thought that was quite funny. That's probably one of the easier ones of the 5. But yeah, good luck with those. I've jumbled all this. They're 5 British adult men's contact teams. Some would be a bit easier to get than others, but yeah, I managed to jumble those words up. And they make 5 Britball adult contact men's teams. So that is round 3. That's Macho Renters, Ha Natal Sports, Fox is Tan Rods, Kilt Teaser Appy Brides, and Men Cheats in Tarts. So there you go. Hopefully that one is a bit easier than maybe round 2. Probably a bit more on the level of round 1, but there we go. Okay, coming up in round 4, time for a bit of history, guys. So in front of you, what you will see is 5 Britbowls from the last 14 or so years. And I've actually given you the answers to choose from as well, for those that maybe weren't really following Britball back in 2008 or 2006. So basically you name in the teams that have participated in those 5 Britbowls. You've got the last 3 years, and you've got 2008 and 2006. And the answers you have to choose from are the Coventry Cassidy Jets, the London Blitz, the London Olympians, the London Warriors, and Tamworth Phoenix. 1 or 2 should be easy, because they should be relatively fresh in the memory from last year and a couple of years down the line. A couple back there as well, back in the late 2000s. So you've got those 5 teams to choose from. So hopefully write those down on your notes and on your notepads, your bits of paper that you're jotting these all down on as well. And say one point for each on these. Regardless of say all the marks here are 1 point per answer as well. So that geography one is 1 point per letter, and then obviously 1 point per anagram back in round 3. But that was round 4, so you've got your Britbowl history there. So we just basically need the participants alongside the ones that I've given you there in each of the Britbowls for the last 3 years, and also 2008, 2006. Round 5 and round 6 are a bit of fun here with the flag game. So what you will see now in front of you, you will see 5 geographical places in the UK. So you've got Glasgow, London, Manchester, Oxford, and Chichester. And what you need to do on the right-hand side, I've given you 5 names. 5 names for those flag teams, and basically you just got to mix and match which ones are which. So if you think Glasgow are Sharks, or Chichester are Crows, or anything like that, so those 5 teams match up with those five animals. So you just got to find which one matches with which. Pretty straightforward, so I won't be too long on that one. I'll just let you jot a few of those down. So once again, it's Glasgow, London, Manchester, Oxford, and Chichester. And we have the Crows, the Sharks, the Hornets, the Vipers, and the Killer Ponies. Killer Ponies, they sound, what's the word? I dread those, eh? The Killer Ponies. Imagine ponies could kill people. That'd be strange, wouldn't it? Okay, let's move on then to round 6. Once again, it's a flag-based round. So this is called the checkered flag. So there are 3 teams. You should see 6 teams in front of you. 3 are real and 3 are not. So what you need to do is you need to identify which 3 are real and which 3 are not. So obviously, write them obviously 3 that you think are real, and then obviously the 3 that you aren't. And you only get, there's 3 points for this one because obviously there are only 3 teams that are real. So for each one that you obviously get right, you will get a point. So we have got the Baker Street Button Hookers, we have got the Werewolves, we've got the Kendall Joiners, the Cheshire Cats, the Stamford Bridges, and the London Smoke. So 3 of those are correct. 3 are all pretty good, to be fair. And the 3 obviously that are incorrect as well. These are listed as on the BritishAmericanFootball.com website as well. So that is where I've taken them from. So whether they still exist or not is unbeknownst to me. So that's where I've just taken them from. So if they have existed or do exist, they appear on that website. So yeah, pick 3 of those, and 3 are 3 that I've made up, and I've done a very good job at that, if I do say so myself. Let's move on then to round 7. Logo. We have squashed 3 teams in each of these following pictures. So we have 1, 2, 3. We have 4 sets of 3 teams there. So again, 1 point for each team that has been correctly identified. So you will see those in front of you now. A couple of pictures there with letters, a couple there with some animals, and then say some other ones there that just kind of went together, and I've put them all together. So yeah, so maximum of 12 points from this round. If I'd have thought about it, I could probably put it in, could have mixed it in with the picture rounds, but yeah, I don't do these things very well. I'm still in the infancy of doing all my quizzes, and obviously if you are a follower of the full 10 yards, we'll be bringing a few more quizzes to the YouTube. So again, make sure you are subscribing, even if you are just entering for the competition. So again, if you want to pause it to have a bit more time, you can do so. And again, don't cheat. Don't go and search for loads of logos. If you know them, you know them. If you go and Google and search, or you go on wherever you get your logos from, you're just cheating yourself. And it's just a bit of fun. Yeah, there's no prizes for the most points scored on the quiz. So again, why spoil it? Okay, let's move on then to round 8. Round 8 is the general knowledge round. So I think we have 10 questions here, in the spirit of the full 10 questions over on our podcast. Okay, question number 1, easy one for you here. Let's start off, bed you in nice and easy. How many yards is the penalty on offence for a full start? How many yards on offence is a penalty for a full start? Nice and easy one there for you. If you get that one wrong, you're in trouble. You are in trouble. Okay, question 2, maths question. Don't all groan at once. So add up the following: 2 touchdowns with 1 2-point attempt successful. Obviously, 1 without. 2 field goals and 1 safety. So add all these together. 2 touchdowns, 1 with a 2-point attempt successful, and 1 with a failed attempt. 2 field goals and 1 safety. So add all of those up, and you have a number. And then when I say, we'll go through all these at the end. Question 3: what year was Britbowl won? What year was Britbowl won? Question 4: staying with Britbowls, which team has the most Britbowl Championships? Which team has won the most Britbowl Championships? And another one for that one. Question 5: which team has had the most Britbowl appearances? I'll give you a clue. Obviously, they're 2 different teams. I wouldn't try and trick you like that. They wouldn't be both the same teams. But yeah, one team has more championships. One team has more appearances. So that's question 5. Which team has had the most Britbowl appearances? Question 6, another Britbowl question. Which stadium, here's one for the historians, which stadium has hosted the most Britbowls? Which stadium? I'll give you 1 point for the the place, and I'll give you the one, and I'll give you a point for where that is as well. So, for example, if you were to say Wembley Stadium, London, you'd get a point for Wembley Stadium, you get a point for London. So yeah, which stadium has hosted the most Britbowls? 2 points for that question. Question, what are we now? Question 7. Name the 3 different series in the women's game that they compete in. There are 3 different series that the women's game competes in. Please name all 3. We will give you a point for each. So that was question 7. Question 8, staying with the women's game. Which of the following is not a women's contact team? The Leeds Chargers, the Staffordshire Surge, and the Peterborough Power. One of those is not a women's contact team. You just need to write down which one is not. Again, that's Leeds Chargers, Staffordshire Surge, and Peterborough Power. See the theme there? Did a charge and power, electrical theme thing. Okay, cool. Question 9. Which teams did TV personality Vernon Kay play for in Britball? There are 2. Obviously, one is more well-known than the other. You get a point for each on these. So again, the question is, which teams did TV personality Vernon Kay play for in Britball? One more well-known than the other, but a point for each of those. There were 2. I think that's according to Wikipedia or something like that. And then finally, question 10. Who is the current head coach of the men's contact adult GB Lions team? If you listen to the podcast, you'll know that question. Yeah, you'll know the answer to that question. Who is the current head coach of the men's adult contact GB Lions team? So there you have it. There is your general knowledge round all done. So that's the quiz all done. I wonder how you all did. I don't know if you... don't know if you enjoyed it. I don't know if you got any right, or if you... hopefully you did get some right, because I didn't make that too hard. But there we go. But we will go through it. Let's go through the answers then. So round 1, all the way back to round 1, that was, of course, the picture round. So let me just get the answers up. Okay, so A was the Vikings. So obviously that is the Northumberland Vikings. Pittsburgh Steelers. Britball equivalent is the Sandwell Steelers. The Philadelphia Eagles is the Ouse Valley Eagles. The Atlanta Falcons are the Leicester Falcons. The Las Vegas Raiders are the Nottingham Raiders. And the Los Angeles Rams are the Yorkshire Rams, except Yorkshire Academy Rams or anything like that. But there we go. Northumberland Vikings, Sandwell Steelers, Ouse Valley Eagles, Leicester Falcons, Nottingham Raiders, and the Yorkshire Rams. 1 point for each. Hopefully you've got 6 out of 6 on that. Okay, on to the dreaded geography round. Lots of answers here. So let's go through them then. A, Bristol Aztecs. B, Edinburgh Wolves. Hopefully that one was a bit easier to get. C, Sussex Thunder. D I've got Cornish Monarchs, obviously now Cornwall Monarchs, so I'll accept both because that's what they were, and where they were and what they are now. So Cornish or Cornwall Monarchs there for D. E is the Bury Saints. F is Essex Spartans. G, now this G was a hard one. If you got this one, this is the Furness Phantoms. They are now obviously no longer a part of the Britball League, but G, Furness Phantoms, well done if you got that one. H is South Wales Warriors. I is Gateshead Senators. J is Sheffield Knights. K is Sheffield Giants. K is Northants Knights. L is Jurassic Coast Raptors. M, a couple of Scottish ones here. Inverclyde Goliaths is M. N is the Dunfermline Kings. And O is the Lincolnshire Bombers as well. So well done if you've got at least half of those. Again, hopefully if you live near some of those, you'll know roughly where they are. But if you have a general concept and grasp of geography and know where kind of those places are, you might have a stab at 75% of those. And very well done if you got all but 1 or 2 or 3 of those correct. That's quite tough, I thought personally. But that was round 2. That was the geography round. On to round 3, the anagram round. So we had 5 anagrams here, jumbled up the letters of 5 adult British male contact teams. So Macho Renters are the Chester Romans. Harnatal Sports is the Halton Spartans. Fox is Tan Rods is Oxford Saints. And these 2 slightly bit easier. Kilt Tees are Abbey Brides with the East Kilbride Pirates. And Men Cheats in Tarts is the Manchester Titans. So well done if you got any of those. Moving on to round 4. Bit of history. So I gave you 5 teams and you basically had to fill in the blanks for those teams. So let's go through them. 2019 London Warriors played the Tamworth Phoenix. Obviously they beat them 56-29 in last year's Britbowl. 2018 again was the same fixture. London Warriors won there 48-34. 2017 Tamworth Phoenix won their Britbowl. They beat the London Blitz back in 2017. They won 34-28. And then going back a few more years, Coventry Cassidy Jets won 33-32 in the 2008 Britbowl. And then finally, that of course leaves the London Olympians, who beat the Blitz 45-30 in 2006. So again, 1 point for each of those. Hopefully you got at least 3 of those right. Maybe you got the other 2, the 2008, 2006, maybe the wrong way around, but who knows? Okay, right, let's have a look at round 4 then. So a couple of rounds here for the flag game. So we gave you 5 teams and we gave you 5 animals. What you had to do was match the team to the animal. So let's go through those then. So Glasgow, the Glasgow are the Hornets. London are the Vipers. Manchester are the Crows. Oxford are the Killer Ponies, and Chichester are the Sharks as well. Chichester, you probably go with the Sharks because they're near the coast, obviously. But yeah, so go through those once more. Glasgow Hornets, London Vipers, Manchester Crows, Oxford Killer Ponies, and the Chichester Sharks. So round 5, is that round 5? No, round 6, sorry. Round 6, so round 5 and round 6 are the flag. Round 6, checkered flag. So which of the 3 following teams are real flag teams as listed on the British American Football website? So, Baker Street Button Hookers, they are correct. The Werewolves, they are correct. The Kendall Joiners, they are incorrect. Stamford Bridges are incorrect. London Smoke are the 3rd and final British real flag team. And the Cheshire Cats, that obviously means that they are incorrect. So again, 3 points available from that round. Hopefully you got all 3 of those, especially if you are someone that plays flag. Okay, so round 7 is logo. So we mashed up lots and lots of teams. So 3 teams per picture. And all we had to do was name the team. So let's go through them then. Okay, so let's go to the letter ones first. So Clyde Valley is the one there with the black CV, and the middle one with the blue one is Inverclyde Goliath, and then the bottom one is London Blitz. Let's move over to the one at the top with the little purple spiral. That is Shropshire Revolution. And then in the middle of that one is the Leeds Bobcats. Tamworth Phoenix is the one that they're at the bottom, the little orange top of the head. And let's move over to the other one. So yeah, Cambridgeshire Cats. And in the middle there we have Hertfordshire Cheetahs. And then on the right hand side there we have Glasgow Tigers. So a few cats and a few tigers there. That was quite a difficult one, I thought, that one. And also shout out to Jason, who got me all these logos as well to put these all together. And then finally, let's round off then with the one on the right, on the left-hand side. The B is the Bournemouth Bobcats, and the middle is Hastings Conquerors. Well done if you've got that one. And then on the right-hand side, fairly easy to identify that one, I think, the Kent Exiles. So let's just run through all those again. So Clyde Valley Black Hawks, Inverclyde Goliaths, London Blitz, Shropshire Revolution, Leeds Bobcats, Tamworth Phoenix, Cambridgeshire Cats, Hertford Cheetahs, and Glasgow Tigers, and then the Bournemouth Bobcats, Hastings Conquerors, and Kent Exiles. So well done if you managed to get the majority of those. Some a bit harder than others. But again, shout out to Jason for getting those to me. Question 8 then was the general knowledge round, a point each for these, except for a couple of questions. So let's go through all the answers. So question 1, how many yards for a full start on offence? So if you got this wrong, you need to do 10 press-ups. It was 5 yards. Question 2 was add the following up. So 2 touchdowns followed by 1 successful 2-point attempt and 1 failed, 2 field goals and 1 safety. So that's 8 for the touchdown and 2 points, 6 points for the failed 2-point conversion afterwards, 3 plus and 3 for the 2 field goals and 2 for the safety. So that's 8 plus 6 plus 3 plus 3 plus 2. Now I make that, when I went to school, it was 22. 22 is the answer. Question 3, what year was Britbowl won? That was 1987. 1987, the year of Britbowl 1. Staying with Britball for question 4, which team have the most Britbowls? That is the London Olympians. London Olympians have the most Britbowls, and taking these from, where did I take these from? I can't remember where I took these from. Probably Wikipedia, know me. Question 5, which team has the most Britbowl appearances? Staying in London, it is the Blitz who have the most Britbowl appearances. So Olympians for the most championships, Blitz for the most appearances. Question 6, which stadium has hosted the most Britbowls? So 2 points available here. It's Saffron Lane, and that is in Leicester. So Saffron Lane there in Leicester, at point for each if you manage to get Leicester, or if you manage to get Saffron Lane. I'm not too sure if you know where Saffron Lane is and you don't get Leicester. That'd be well done. Question 7, 3 points available here. So we're looking at the women's game. We're looking at 3 divisions, or the 3 kind of ways that the ladies do their Britball. So the different series that they have, they're all gemstones. They're all so we've got opal, we've got diamond, and we've got sapphire. So if you've got any of those, you get a point for each. Well done if you got those. Question 8. So question 8 was which of the following teams is not a women's adult contact team? So to choose from, you had Leeds Chargers, Staffordshire Surge, and Peterborough Power. Peterborough Power are not a team in the women's game. 1 point for that. Question 9. TV personality Vernon Kay played for 2 Britball teams. One obviously is the London Warriors. The other one he played for was the Manchester All-Stars. Manchester All-Stars was the other one that you might not know, but well done if you've got both of those. And then finally rounding this off, question 10, fairly easy one to say, especially if you listen to the full 10 Yards Britball podcast. Who is the current head coach of the the men's GB Lions contact team? That is, of course, Jason Scott. Jason Scott is the answer there. So just a quick run through back of general knowledge. 5 yards, number is 22, 1987, London Olympians, London Blitz, Saffron Lane, Leicester, Opal, Diamond, Sapphire, Peterborough Power, Manchester All-Stars, and the London Warriors. And Jason Scott is question 10. So that concludes Britball for the quiz. Hope you enjoyed it. Again, so don't forget to subscribe and leave in the comments hashtag #IcePill, and we'll pick up a couple of people out there to give a shout to. So yeah, don't forget to check out all the other great content Freddy and Jason have been putting out on the social media, on the Facebook group. Celebrating Britball, and again, unfortunately, there's no season this season, which is not great. But again, we'll come back next season. Maybe the Uniball might come back as well towards the end of the year. So there's that to look forward to. Don't forget X's and O's podcast. Go give them a vote for the British Podcast Awards. Again, we've got another team putting some great content together, making sure that this game kind of gets a voice, gets an opinion. Which at the moment we kind of need more, especially when we don't have a season. We need lots of things to try and fill our time. But yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed it. I've been Timothy Lambert Monk. I've been your quizmaster, albeit probably not a very good one. So in the great words of Kevin Cadle, it's bye-bye for now. Bye-bye.